Hey, it's Kay, back at it again with another video. Today is day 9. We've made it over a week. Yay! Which I think is more than I, like, but this I think is this amount of videos, if I can talk, are probably the most amount of videos in succession I've ever posted, except on TikTok. So, yay! That's awesome. Progress? Anyway, I figured for today's video, I actually don't know. I can't remember. What was I thinking of? I'm thinking of possibly, okay, hear me out, doing a hear me out cake. I'm just kidding. No. I'm not. I don't want to do it by myself. I'd do it if someone did it with me, but I'm not gonna do a hear me out cake by myself. I was gonna talk about my paranormal experiences. Now, in my bio, it says that I'm also an aspiring paranormal investigator, which is true. I haven't taken any courses just yet, but I want to for sure one day. And so I thought I'd talk a little bit about it, because I kind of just added it to my bio and didn't say anything. So, I know I used to have your pocket spiritual guru, in my bio. And I was just like, yes, I'm still spiritual, but I don't think I'd call myself a guru. I know on TikTok I tried to, like, do advice and crystals of the day and stuff like that. And I just, like, I'm still open to doing that, but, only if there's, like, a need or a want for it. Like, I'm not gonna, because at the same time, I'm still learning. So as someone who is still learning, and then giving advice to others, I'm, like, in the middle about it. What else? Okay. The Ghost Adventures intro just comes to mind. And I could probably quote it word for word, sorry. But, I don't want to get copyrighted, so. As most of you probably don't know, I am a person with empathic abilities and psychic ability potential. I say psychic ability potential because I do have the abilities of a psychic medium. However, they are currently locked, and I am trying to discover ways to unlock them. And that's just a part of my whole journey. I don't advertise it because honestly, I'm not looking to make money off of my gifts. Like, if someone approaches me and I get a message from spirit, obviously I would feel inclined to give them that message, but I'm not, like, interested in selling my services or making money off of it, because in my opinion, those with those kinds of gifts are here to help people and not necessarily make a profit off of it. Now, I'm not saying that if you choose to make money off of your gifts, that's a bad thing. You do you. I'm just saying, for me personally, I'm not inclined to make money off of the gifts that I have been provided. Granted, I am still growing them, and there are days where it's harder than others, for sure, because it's understanding what's going on. there will be people who are skeptical, and there will be people who will 100% believe right away, which I understand both sides. I go into every investigation a little bit skeptical, because if you go investigate a haunted location and you're 100%, you believe it right away, well, there's nothing for spirits to do. They're like, oh, they believe, why am I communicating with them if they know I'm here, kind of thing. So, also too, there are some things that have plausible explanations. Like if you hear a door creak and the window's open in that room, well, you can debunk it right away. So, the reason why you should approach paranormal investigations with a little bit of skepticism is because you want to look to debunk things that are debunkable before you immediately go to, oh, it's paranormal. Another thing to consider is residual hauntings. Sometimes it's hard for people to tell the difference, but there is a difference. If you don't know the difference, residual hauntings are basically, how do I describe this? Echoes in time. So it's as if, say, you know that your parents do something at a certain time, or you know your dog paces a certain way, and it happens every day or every week or so. It's a reoccurring event. It's repeating. So sometimes those repeating events, things we do every day that are a part of our habits, get imprinted in the energy of time and stay present until after we die. That's why sometimes when people rebuild or remodel old houses, or build a new house on top of a plot of land that already had a house there formerly, and they get ghosts walking through walls or seemingly walking a path that isn't there, it's residual. Intelligent hauntings are completely different, and obviously these are the ones you see on mostly on Ghost Adventures and Ghost Investigation YouTube channels and everything like that. So you know what those are, obviously. So I'm going to talk about my experiences. So, of course, if you take it with a grain of salt and you're just like, I'm gonna not believe you, that's fine. I know for sure that these are paranormal experiences that have happened to me, and I'm not looking for validation. I'm just sharing my stories. Okay? Cool. So, first off, when I was little, my room had an attic space door. And it was the only door to the attic in the house. And I was terrified of it. Terrified. And I've never told these two instances with my, I never really told them to my parents, because they'd be like, oh, you were very little, you don't remember correctly. It's like, no, I do. Sometimes when I was falling asleep and it'd be pitch black, I would see, without the door opening or moving, I would see a hand come down around the frame, and it would scare the bejeebies out of me. Oh my goodness. I would and I was really little. I was easily scared. I'd see the hand and I'd but eventually I just have to be like, it's not real, it's not real, it's not real, and I'd fall asleep. One time, because also while I was little, I had this thing where I had to fall asleep to a CD player, a CD playing music. and it was very retro Disney princess stereo, and I know this stereo like the back of my hand because I used it every night. So it would either play the CD and then stop, but still be on and still turning the CD because the CD was ended. Or if you clicked repeat enough times, the CD will just keep repeating for hours and hours. It wouldn't shut off on its own. And one night I wake up in the middle of the night because I have to go to the washroom. And keep in mind, like, I'm probably like 7 or 8, maybe. I can't like remember my age 100%, but one night I woke up in the middle of the night, and I honestly think it's because the radio shut off. Because normally I'm a heavy sleeper and I sleep through the night even if I have to go to the washroom, and I just wake up and have to go to the washroom, right? So, all of a sudden I wake up and I'm not really noticing anything because I'm just like, okay, bathroom break, and then get back to sleep. So I walk by my stereo, I go to the washroom, I get back and I notice that the light isn't on because the on button had a light, right, to tell you if it was on or off, and it wasn't on. And so I know, like, people might be like, oh, it was probably like your parents turn off in the middle of the night and just like didn't tell you or whatever. But no, I know my parents and they know my routine. They wouldn't have done that because I've woken up tons of nights before that and that hasn't happened. So I would say that was one of my very first paranormal experiences when I was quite little. Now, fast forward to when I'm older, obviously I can go paranormal investigating with my dad, who also loves paranormal investigating. And so, we created a company. Do I remember the name? It's cycled through like Prairie Ghost Paranormal and Prairie Ghost Investigations. Still open for investigations, I believe the last time I talked to my dad was. So if you if you want something investigated, we're not the Ghost Adventures, but you can give us an email. I'll have to find the email. I'll have to ask my dad if it's still running, but let me know. Anyways, we went to an old abandoned hospital when I was in junior high or high school. We went to an old abandoned hospital with one of his friends, and we're just walking, and we're on the first floor, and we have to, obviously because the elevators aren't working, we have to go up the stairs. So we pass the nurse's desk. Now, my dad is my dad's very cute. He told me at the beginning of the investigation I was either in front of them both or in the middle. Never was I to be at the back. Well, I'm kind of a slow walker. Especially when I'm scared and trying to be quiet. Because, for some reason, in my mind, making noise attracts more spirits. Which kind of is true. But, so, I ended up behind them. Just walking. And we walk past the nurse's desk. And they're already kind of like... They're in the stairwell, kind of at the top of the first landing. And I'm coming around into the door and to enter the stairwell, and I hear giggling, like actual, like, kind of, how do I describe this? Kind of like the giggling you would hear if, like, you and your best friend are talking about your crush and he walks by. That type of giggling, walking past the nurse's station, and I mean, I can tell it was just residual because it wasn't in response to anything. I definitely don't think it could have been a response to me, because if it was a response to my dad or his friend, obviously it would have happened with them there, right? I think it was kind of just residual. But I run up the stairs. I'm like, oh my gosh, did you hear that? They're like, hear what? I'm like, the laughing. And they were like, no. And then they kind of just dropped it, and like we kept investigating. I was just like, you're not gonna talk about it with me? Yeah, so that was that experience. Another experience, and this is probably my craziest experience to date, which is probably mild to what you see in a lot of TV shows nowadays. But it was crazy to me because I actually experienced it. Anyway, we go to this haunted museum, and so originally we were supposed to go to the neighboring mine, but before we could get in to investigate the mine, they switched owners, and the new owners didn't allow really investigations, or at least that's what they told us. So we went to the museum instead, and because they have also the an exhibit for the mine, and so we go, and it was me, my dad, my younger cousin, and one of my dad's paranormal investigation colleagues. He's from a different paranormal investigation, but him and my dad enjoyed working together. So, and then we had a psychic medium coming to join us later. Now, this is when I'm starting to acknowledge my abilities, and like just starting to figure out what my abilities are. So at this point, I could really only sense spirits and energy shifts, and that's still kind of the point I'm at, except I'm better at it. But anyways, like I said, I was just starting to figure out my abilities, and trying to make sense of this new realm of the 5D that I'm being exposed to. So we enter, and we go to, because the museum had a kitchen, so we go to the kitchen, and we're setting it up as our base camp. We're talking with the janitor who let us come and investigate, and she's saying like she's gonna let us do our thing, but like here are the rules, and then she's gonna be in the main office the whole time. And we're like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. So if I'm trying to remember correctly, now that I'm on camera, everything's just like the first room, no. Before we started investigating, I had to go to the washroom. So I go to the washroom, obviously, and we're the only people there, right? There's no other paranormal investigators, there's no other janitors, it's just us. So I go to the washroom, and in the stall next to me, I feel a presence. And like immediately, I'm just like, I'm just trying to like do my thing. I don't want any encounters right now. And so I just did my business, and I left like quietly, and then I was telling my younger cousin, and he was like, let's go see. I'm just like, well, it's the ladies' washroom. And then because my dad's overhearing this, and they're like, well, no one else is here. And I'm just like, I guess that makes sense, but okay. And so me and my younger cousin go. I still feel the presence in there, and it's not it's not negative, but it's just kind of sad. It's a sad energy. And I knock first, to be respectful. And then I open it, I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, like, I'm just, like, checking my surroundings. And of course, no one is there. And me, like, my cousin just kind of runs out because he's like, that's kind of scary. I'm just like, yeah. And I apologize. I was like, I'm sorry for opening the door. I'm gonna leave now because I'm just like, you know what? I'm not trying to, instigate anything. But yeah. So first, one of the most haunted rooms, she tells that, like, so there's 3 of the most haunted rooms, and, well, the basement doesn't count as a room, I guess. So, like, the entire basement was, like, their strongest, but, like, the schoolhouse room and then the mine room. And so, first we go to we go to the schoolhouse room, and we're told if we leave, like, candy and we sit in the dunce seat, because it's an old-fashioned classroom, so, and it's a museum, so it's modeled as it would be during the time it's modeled from. So, and, like, read out some of the names of, like, the teachers and the students, we'd get activity in there. We did all of that. We took photos, EVP. Nothing really happened, so we were just like, okay, like, that's fine. If you want to follow us around during our investigation, you're welcome to do that. The second room we investigated was kind of modeled after common housing that would be prevalent at the time. And so we're all sitting in the chairs around the kitchen table, and, like, not like the table of the kitchen our base camp was in, but of the kitchen dining room table in the model house. And so basically, like, the museum is like a thick brick wall, and then it's drywall for, like, the house. And so we're just sitting recording EVP. All of a sudden we're hearing knocks, but not on the brick, on the drywall. So we're hearing knocks on the drywall, and we're like, okay, like, can you communicate with us? Is there anything you want to say? And I think we got an EVP, but I can't remember. All of the audio and footage is somewhere. I have to ask my dad. If you guys are interested, hopefully we'll be able to post it. I'm not sure. Anyways. And then, like, if you want us to leave, make it known. And then the chair beside me moves. Like, just a little bit. Like, like, you can hear it move, but it just moves a little bit. And, like, my eyes go wide, and then we're all looking at each other, and we're like, we'll take that as our cue to leave the room. Thank you for making yourself known. And then we kind of just exit out of there. While, like, my dad's paranormal colleague is talking with the psychic medium, getting details on when she might arrive, and, my dad and my younger cousin are kind of just, chilling in the kitchen. And so I walk down the hall because I'm investigating. I'm looking around. And so I get to, and I didn't notice my cousin kind of following me, but I get to kind of where the principal office was, and I look, because it was, like, up, and it was, like, a single room that was, like, on a second floor, and I looked up, and I just, like, I remember feeling dread and just not the best energy. And my little cousin comes, and he's not much younger than me. He's not that little. Sorry, I say my little cousin, but he's around my age. And at this time, I'm probably in grade 10, grade 11. Okay, so I'm looking up, And then my cousin comes and he's just like, that is the creepiest stairwell. And I was like, okay, you're saying what I'm thinking right now, and like that's not really good energy. He's like, yeah, can we go back? And so we go back to the kitchen. All of a sudden, we hear footsteps coming up from the basement. And so immediately, because we're all in the kitchen, we're figuring out our next steps, where we're going to go next. Are we going to go straight downstairs or the miner's room while we're waiting for the psychic medium? And so we hear the steps coming up from the basement, and we all look at each other and we're like, oh my gosh, what's happening? And so like we go out, and I'm the first one there. I'm like, if this is somebody, I'm gonna catch him in the act trying to scare us. And so I'm going, and then I stop, and this is like, oh, sorry, this is like the weirdest part for me, because I swear someone was there, but I couldn't see them, and no one else could sense or see what I was going through, which sucked, because I was like, I don't know what's happening. There's someone there. And so anyways, so I come around and I'm looking down, and the first landing you get to, and I can see, but I can't see. I know, I can tell it's a shadow figure, and it's standing on the landing staring at me. And I'm staring back at it while everyone's like coming to see, and I'm staring back at it, and I'm like, like I can't see it with my physical eyes, but like I can see it in my mind. It's a shadow figure, and I'm sensing the energy. It's not the best energy, and I'm just staring it down. I don't know why. I'm just staring at it. I think it was me processing what's actually happening, and I'm looking, and I'm looking, and I'm looking. And then my dad and my cousin and his colleague come, and then disappears. And then you hear steps go down. And I was like, oh my gosh. And of course I'm telling them what happens. My dad's colleague goes and asks the janitor, like, hey, were you at the basement steps at all? And she was like, no, like I've been in here the whole time. And so we're all like, we all can't believe. We're standing in the hallway of the museum, and we're like, what just happened? And so we knew we didn't want to go to the basement without the psychic medium. So we go to the miner's room next. So we're kind of like, we're unsettled for sure, but we're waiting. We're not really talking about it. So we go to the miner's room, and so my dad and his colleague turn to me and my cousin, and they're like, something is supposed to happen in this room to people when you walk through with all the lights off. And me and my cousin kind of look at each other, we're like, oh, okay, alright. You can tell we don't really want to do it in the dark, but like, we're going to. So we'd never seen that room, we didn't even get that far yet. And it's pitch black in that room. So all we have I'm guiding my cousin, and I have the night vision. So we're trying to walk, and it's narrower, and it's pitch black in there, and so we don't know what's supposed to happen. My cousin's freaking out because he thinks he's gonna see like a shadow figure or something, and we're just walking. We get to this one specific place, and we don't know anything. We're just walking through. All of a sudden, there's like a like on which ear was it? It was my right ear. It was like a blow, and I could feel it. Like I can hear it and I could feel it. And I mean, I didn't say anything because they said not to say anything to each other. And so we both were like, we stopped for a minute, and we were silent, and then we just kept walking. So once we got out, they asked us what happened, and obviously I said something first, and then my cousin agreed. He's like, yeah, I felt and heard that too. And so we both were like, was that what was supposed to happen? And so they said, like, yes. So they turned on the lights to the mining exhibit, and we go and we stop at the specific place, and it's a case full of articles, like personal articles that were from former miners of the mine. And so that was pretty crazy. Obviously, there's more that happens that night, but I think like that, like feeling air and hearing it physically was just crazy. And so yeah, so we got out of there, and like we're trying to gather evidence and everything like that, and so we go back to base for a bit, and we're waiting on the psychic medium, and then we're like, okay, we're not gonna go into a specific room, but we'll just kind of like see the basement at least. So we go down, and it's like there's a classroom, and then there's like furnace room, and then a storage room. So we go into the storage room, and honestly, like it's fine. We didn't really pick up any energy in there, residual or intelligent or otherwise. And then so like by the time we kind of go back down the hallway to go up the stairs, the psychic medium was there. So we did introductions, we talked a little bit, we told her our experiences so far, and so like she hasn't really said anything. She just said like there's for sure really bad energy in the basement. So where do we go? The basement. And so we decided to do the classroom on our way out, so we went straight to the furnace room. So in the furnace room, there was a smaller room where the janitor of the building used to live. And so my dad and his colleague wanted to set up some equipment first. And so they set up an SLS camera and a spirit box, and like they're setting things up. And then my cousin goes in before me, and he's like, I don't really like the vibes in here. And my dad's like, okay, do you want to do... So he doesn't call this the Estes method. I call it the Estes method, but it's different than the Estes method at the same time. If you don't know what the Estes method is, the Estes method is a form of spirit communication using a spirit box. You cover your eyes and you cover your headphones, and you have the spirit box louder than anything you could possibly hear outside of the headphones, and your main focus is whatever the spirit box says. So my dad does it a little differently, because he likes the art of writing it down as you hear it instead of saying it. So obviously our eyes are uncovered. I would love to try the S method, although I'm a little scared of it, to be honest. But so he asks my cousin if he wants to do that, and my cousin's like, oh yeah, sure. So puts the headphones on, sets up the spirit box, has a notepad. And he's just kind of sitting off to the side in the furnace room. So everything they set up is in the janitor's old room. And so, like, the furnace room and the janitor's old room is completely, like, it's not renovated, is completely original everything. There was a fire in the building, so fire damage, so nothing's really functional in there. So they set up the SLS camera and a spirit box. Okay, so the medium goes in before me. Okay, everything seems fine. I check on my cousin. He's good. I go in, And this is where it goes crazy. I can't make this up. I go in, and right away, it's this negative energy that's like woomph. And I like, it's like I like hit me so hard I'm hitting a wall. Like, and then so I'm kind of like I can't leave. It's blocking me from leaving and it's blocking me from entering. So I'm like sandwiched in between energy walls that don't feel so great. And so I'm shuffling to the corner of the room because I don't know what's going on. All I feel is a massive amount of energy. And so I'm in the corner. I'm like, my hands are braced. And I'm like, like I probably look ridiculous. But at least I can laugh about it now. But at the time, I was like petrified. I didn't know what was going on. I couldn't move. I could barely breathe. It was just heavy negative energy. And so all of us, like, my dad's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm just like, "I think so." And I was trying to say what was going on. All of a sudden, the psychic medium goes like this across me and yells, "No!" And like, we were all like, and my cousin's going crazy because he's hearing a bunch of words on his spirit box. And then we have our spirit box. And as soon as the medium, like, just is like, "No," all of a sudden, our spirit box is talking. I don't know if the SLS is picking up anything, but all I hear is, like, "Want her, have her," kind of thing. Those kinds of things coming from our spirit box. And then from my cousin's spirit box, like, he's screaming, "It's saying, get out! It's saying," whatever it's saying. And then the medium's like, "You can't have her. She is protected." And I'm just like I'm like against the wall. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to process everything I'm hearing. Honestly, thank you so much to this medium, because if she wasn't there, I'd probably be spiritually fighting for my life, and I wouldn't even be able to know it, because I'm so new to my gifts. It's crazy. It's crazy. And then all of a sudden, there's a shift. There's a strong shift, and the spirit box is constantly swearing at this medium, and it's intelligent responses. It's responding to her, and it's just swearing. And we're looking at each other, and I'm looking at my dad. My dad's looking at the SLS camera, and my dad's colleague is reacting to the spirit box. My cousin is screaming about what his spirit box is saying, and then the medium was like, "I need to get her out of here," and then grabs me and takes me out, and then they kind of finish up things in there, and then we all, like, kind of gather outside the furnace room, and we're just like, what just happened? Like, I couldn't believe it. I was hearing intelligent spirit box, like, spirit box responses from 2 different spirit boxes. I was having a psychic medium, like, basically protecting me, and I was, like, sandwiched in a corner. I was like, I don't know what's going on. And so we're like, my dad was like, "Okay, so should we end the investigation there?" And I was like, honestly, like, we have one more room to investigate. I'm fine, and because I didn't feel, once we got out of that room, I felt a whole lot better. And so I was like, I'm fine. If you want to continue, Dad, because I know you've been waiting for this, like, it's okay. We can go ahead. And so we go into the classroom in the basement, and I volunteered for, like, the headphones and spirit box this time. And so, like, I have the spirit box on, and it's saying things like grass, science, just, like, kind of really opposite things to what we were getting in the other room. And then all of a sudden, I don't want to say the word, because, it's a very bad word, that happens to other people. Okay? And I hear it 3 times. Dot, dot, dot. And I wrote it down, and then I scream, "It said blank," because I'm not gonna say it. And then we just decided to end the investigation because we were like, that came through too clearly. And although it's unfortunate, we should get out of here. And so we say bye. We say, like, there are no, like, under no circumstances is anything to follow us or to form attachments to us. And we get out of there. We say, we pack up our stuff. We say goodbye to the janitor. We thank her for the opportunity. She invites us back again, which, I mean, I would be willing to go back again to see how things have changed, to see how my gifts have grown, etc. But yeah, and then we just kind of left. It was crazy. Like, it was, oh my gosh. Like, I was scared, but I look back and I'm just like, what a cool experience. But this is coming from the girl who wants to be on an episode of Ghost Adventures, so whatever. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. As far as since then, we did go to an abandoned schoolhouse a little bit after that, and there was some, like, it was a mix of residual and intelligent energy, but we weren't really getting anything, so we left. And then COVID happened, and we just kind of stopped investigating. I know my dad has had some pretty crazy experiences as well. My mom has. My sister, I'm not quite sure. But yeah, it's pretty, like, I don't know. Of course, like, even with growing my abilities, I'm still a little skeptical, but also that's probably because my abilities are still growing. I'm still very much in the 3D instead of the 5D, and even though I can sense things, I haven't picked up on a lot. There are spirits in my family home. I think they've been cleansed away. I'm not sure. I haven't heard anything since. So basically, I think, this spirit in particular, I think, is still here. He is a Native American chieftain, and he kind of just protects the house. He stays on the stairs, and he kind of walks up and down, just kind of surveying both levels and making sure everything's okay. I hear him come up and down the stairs all the time. I've gotten used to saying hi, whenever I hear him. And I've seen him. I did a meditation where I asked for him to come through, and I've seen what he looks like. And I've also just kind of even just looking down the stairs, I've seen his hand. And he's not a shadow, but he's kind of like a translucent grayish white, like Casper the Friendly Ghost, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So I'm pretty sure he's still here, but he protects the land. He's attached to the land, and so I don't want him to leave. I grew up hearing him on the stairs, and I just, like, kind of attached to him. He's not attached to me, I'm attached to him. It kind of comforts me to hear him still here, because I know he's here protecting the land and protecting the house. So, I fully welcome his energy. Other spiritual things happen. There was a time I was communicating with the spirits, and this is where, like, me and my sister were like, okay, we need to cleanse the house. Was I was talking with some of the spirits, and then, like, as this was before I got a pendulum stand, and so as I was holding the pendulum stand, all of a sudden a hand went, and it wasn't my sister's, because she was right in front of me. It was literally as if someone, like, grabbed my hand, and so I lost it. I went out of my room, and I yelled. I yelled at, like, all of the spirits, because there was more than one present. I yelled at all the spirits. I was like, okay, listen up. Under no circumstances are you allowed to touch me ever again. And then we just made the consecutive decision. Like, obviously he said more than that. I was really angry. But me and my sister made the collective decision to smudge the house. And so we got some white sage and we cleansed. Now, I'm pretty sure it worked. I haven't really, except the Native American chief, I haven't experienced anything. But that could also be because I got scared after that and kind of, like, closed my gifts more down, like, more. Obviously, I'm still trying to open them because I do want to use them. It's just a process. My ears started ringing. Like, yeah, confirmation, basically. What else? Now, me and my sister are, partially Native American, so doing smudging with white sage is a part of our culture, is a part of our heritage. We both agree that we want to go to an indigenous elder and learn how to do it properly. But we did what we could with the materials we had. So, and nothing has happened since. Nothing bad, at least, right? So, it worked. But yeah. This, I don't know if this is my longest video, but it's probably up there. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, day 9 of the December-January challenge. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to all my paranormal experiences I've had so far. I hope to do and record more paranormal investigations in the future, and hopefully, as my gifts grow, I can be more active in investigations. And yeah, so a quick reminder, December's goal is 100 subscribers, and January's goal is 1,000. I know it's only day 9, but I want to do the occasional reminder because I'm very serious about growing my platform here on YouTube, and I'm hoping once I reach my January goal to still post on YouTube but switch to either TikTok or Instagram. That way we can all unite and be one, I'm not going to say fandom, but one collaborative community. There we go. Collaborative community with each other. So, once again, guys, let me know if you have any video ideas down below. I don't only post videos. If you go on my channel and you go under the community tab, I do have some posts there as well with questions you can answer. So if you want to go check those out, please do. If you are new to my channel and you would like to subscribe, feel free. No pressure. If you are new to my channel, wanted to watch, but you're not interested, that's fine too. If you have been on my channel and been watching all my videos, thank you so much. It means a lot, truly. And I hope to bring more interesting content to you guys eventually. And yeah, I don't know what else to say. I'm closing the video now anyway. So have a good night, you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow for the next video. Bye!